Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome back. This is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. Giving God our best. It is time for us to ensure that we are giving God the best and the first fruit of our labor. I stumbled on a beautiful post just last night where the owner of the Instagram site challenged his viewers to read up on faith and read up on scriptures of seasons, challenges, adversities. And what was interesting is I was led to read Malachi 3:10, where God was saying to give up the 10th, to bring the 10th to your storehouse and test him in this promise and see if he does not pour out blessings onto our life until there is no more need. Imagine that for a moment. God is essentially daring us to test this theory by bringing the first and the best of our labor to him, trusting it to him that he will pour out a blessing until there is no more need. I used to hear as a child that God will pour out a blessing where you have no more room to receive it. And I thought that was incredible. That has never left my mind. But I reflected my own life. Like, where am I lacking to give God my best? And I know that in the Old Testament, it was law that we are to give the 10th of our labor. And that looked like cattle, that looked like grain, that looked like money. And today, even though it can definitely still be money, it can also be through the services that we are offering, through what we are creating, through stepping into our calling. Are we giving God the best? Or are we simply giving him the scraps, the leftovers? Are you spending time with God first thing in the morning? Or do you find that you only show up in prayer when a challenge comes, where illness strikes, where there's something pressing that you know is beyond your strengths, and so you tap in with God? If we are doing that, and we are human, and I get that, we go through seasons like that, but here is your reminder about God's promises. When we are giving our best, then he will produce the best. And we don't need to worry. We don't need to be concerned that giving of our energy and our time and our service and our finances, that there will be lack. But understanding that by the same measure we pour out, he will actually, it won't be equal. It will be overflow. It will be more than we can imagine, more than we can dream of, more than we've given. For me, pouring out my best, when I took an inventory of my life last night, my best is everything we're doing here on Tull. I actually push back my paying clients. I push back meetings. I'll be late to a meeting before I'm late putting out an episode. I don't care that, yes, the business produces the money. I know that God has asked me to give away my gifts in this way, so this is my best. I do this first, and I do this far most. I make sure that the time is sacred and that I'm setting aside sacred space to make sure that I'm allowing God to speak through me, and that I'm prioritizing everything that He is laying on my heart, that I am giving away the gifts that He has asked me to give. So as I look back at my own life, I thought, okay, thank you, God. I am giving my best. Are you showing up the same way? Are you waking up in the morning and spending the best hours in the morning with God? Or are we picking up our phone first? Are we going to our emails first? Are we engaging with, family and friends first? How can we give God our best first thing in the morning? God says that He meets us in the morning. He meets us in the beginning of a new day. He eagerly awaits our first thoughts when we rise. How can we then devote that sacred, that best time to simply being in His presence? And honestly, the amount of time is not as important as making sure that we're setting aside that time to be with Him, preferably in the morning, right? Because if we think, well, I'm going to go ahead and go to yoga class first thing in the morning, or I have to answer this email first thing in the morning, then what we're really saying, like straight up, is God can wait. God is on the back burner. This email takes first place over my time with God. This yoga class comes before God, because and we could be saying this, and this is a real thought, because the yoga class starts at 7. I have to be in the office by 9. So yeah, I can do the yoga class first at 7 and then come home, shower quickly, and then go to and be in the office by 9, and then I can pray there. Well, then straight up, you are giving God your second best. You are not giving Him the best. So then what will God do with the leftover that we give Him? Now, here's the thing. God is gracious, and He wants any of your time, but really it means the most when it's the best time. He is actually saying, give me your best. So no, God won't leave you if we're giving Him, our second, third, and fourth time, if we prioritize Him fifth and sixth. But I'm telling you, who are we really shortchanging? We're shortchanging ourselves. And that's just it. And it's time for us to begin to prioritize the Most High. Not only because, of course, He is deserving. He is worthy, incredibly worthy. But we're doing it so that we can gain intimacy, so that God can guide our steps, make our path straight, so that we can live a peaceful, sheltered, secure life in Him. And there's only one way to do that. We have to grow intimate with Him. And what better way to do that but to give God our best? Think about what God has done in your life. And I'm going to speak to myself. When God was maybe 10th as a priority in my life, I look up and God never allowed me to fail deeply. I don't know. He even though I did fail several times, right? I was like in the rat race, and I was like a hamster on a wheel, and there was many failures, but none of it were too great, where His grace and His love never touched me, where it couldn't reach me and bring me back on the path with Him. And that was when I wasn't prioritizing God at all. Like His love still found me in the darkness where I wasn't even looking for Him. His love reached and made sure that He had a hold on me, that I never strayed too far off course. But the thing that happened is, once I turned my attention to God, and once I began to prioritize God, and once I began to say nothing comes before God, and once I began to say, God, this is my calling, and I'm going to prioritize my calling, and everything else, even the paid clients, can come secondary to You, then my life exploded. Because I began to prioritize God and give God my best. Not only are you worthy of seeing only the best things coming into your life, but God is worthy of you giving Him only the best. I know you're exhausted. I know you're tired at the end of the day. I know we may be thinking like, I don't have time to sit down and pray, or kneel down, or I don't have time, I'm so rushed in the morning. That is a decision we are making. Once we begin to say, I'm going to dedicate this time in the morning, first thing, to be with God, I am here to tell you, God will organically allow everything that's pressing to be gently pushed back, and you won't skip a beat because you're prioritizing Him. So the meeting that you thought you needed to get to, you'll get to there in perfect timing because you're prioritizing the Most High. The emails that you're dying to check, God will begin to just curve it to where it was enough time and it was in perfect timing for you to check them after your sacred time with God. That is the magic of stepping into a life guided solely and lived intimately with the Most High. I know it because I'm living it. I spoke about this recently. I don't look at the time when I understand when I have to be somewhere. I understand how schedules work, yes, but I'm not too ruled by the time. I don't wear a watch. I never want to wear a watch again a day in my life. I have a phone. It tells me what time. That's all I need. But if there's an event that's coming up at 6, yeah, I know I'm doing what I can do to make sure I'm there on time, quote unquote. But I know that if I'm stopped because I want to do a quick meditation, I'm stopped because I want to spend a couple extra minutes here with God, I'm stopped because I want to prioritize a conversation with a friend that I know God is saying, take the call, then I'm not worried about the time. I know that even though I may be late, I'm actually right on time because I'm prioritizing God and I'm doing the things and pausing for the people and speaking to the ones that God is asking me to speak to. I don't care about the schedule. I live life too freely to be worried about the time I got to be there. And I've told a few of my friends know this, and thank you for my beautiful friends that get this. But I'm at a place right now where I live life so freely that yes, we can set a time and I'm going to respect your time and I'm going to respect my time as well. But you're going to have to give me grace because I'm not following. We said we're going to do dinner at 6. I'll be there at 6. I'll be there at 5:55. No, we said we're going to do dinner at 6. I'll be there soon. It may take me to 6:15. It may take me to 6:20. I'll keep you in the loop, but I'm not following any rigid schedules. Actually, I'm not following anything but God. And as I keep my eyes on God, then He guides me to do the things and show up at the places when I need to be there. And thank you to the ones who get it. No, I'm never going to ghost you. If we say 6, don't worry. I won't take up all the time. I won't be there at 7. I'll be there 6-ish. But I know that no matter what time I arrive, and this is just it, no matter what time I'm arriving, even though the clock may say I'm late, I'm right on time because I am giving God my best. I am giving God my best when I am setting time aside to be with Him. I am giving God my best when I am meditating before we do any episodes here on the Ultimate Love Letter. I'm asking God and I'm opening up to God to just flood in the word that we need to hear today. And all these words are usually for me first. And as I know they're for me, then I know they're for someone else. But as God is flooding me in, I'm giving it on this platform. How are we giving away the gifts God is asking us to? And this doesn't mean it needs to be perfect. It just means we need to give Him our best. And that could be our best foot forward. That could be our best go at it. That maybe giving away your best is encouraging a stranger, smiling at a stranger. Maybe your best is meditating and attempting to get to know God. Maybe your best is spending any amount of time with God during the day, but putting an effort forward. God sees our heart. God is simply saying, bring me your best and watch if I do not pour out the deepest blessing until there is no need. We actually cannot afford to skip on this investment. I know that we are so hyper fixated on what the stock market is doing, what our portfolio looks like, what our savings look like, but where are we spiritually set? Where are our investments there? That is the ultimate investment. You, me, no one can afford to skip on this investment. Don't sleep on God. We are worthy of his best. He knows we are. But to attain his best, we're going to have to give our best. Thank you so much for joining this convo. Please consider sharing it with someone who needs a reminder about giving God their best. Your storehouse, my storehouse, our storehouse may look different than when it did back in the day. But God is still the same. He wants our best effort. He wants our best energy. He wants us to come to him for it all. That is giving our best. I want to give a quick reminder. We have a new book out, FAVE. Stands for Fake Ass Vegan, a book on balance, and it is live right now on Amazon. Thank you to everyone who has picked up a copy. Please, please, please let me know in the comments, on any of the comments, what you think. Make sure that you review. Go back to Amazon and shoot the reviews. Take pictures on the inside. That makes our book more recognizable to everyone. Also, I want to hear from you. Where are you intending to give God your best? I read every single comment. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again soon. Bye for now.